Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Coming Out Cosmic podcast. My name is Christine Nowinski. I'm your host, ET Contactee, Awakening Coach, and founder of Coming Out Cosmic. I am back again here with my friend Rosanna, and today we are going to talk about starseeds. What do you think a starseed is?
I think a starseed is someone that their soul has probably been around for a while, learned along the way, and has come back to teach people the ways.
Yes. I want to validate this for you, and I'd also like to add on, may I?
Yeah.
I would also say that it would be a galactic soul. So somebody who's not from Earth would be more my definition of a starseed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Started non-human, have lived human, and have learned a lot about being human, and now are back. You don't always remember it, though. You come to it in your awakening.
Yes. And if you stay till the end of the podcast episode, I'll give you guys tips on how to decode and figure out your starseed lineage. One, if you're listening to this podcast, if you resonate with my content, you're most likely a starseed. You're most likely not from here. Another thing I want to mention is how it is that we even become starseeds. How, like where do we even come from? Because like you were just mentioning how, yes, we've had all different lives and we have had ones on planet, off planet, etc. But like, where did it all begin? Do you know?
Wasn't it the Anunnaki?
Oh, Anunnaki. Oh, I mean, even before that. So I guess what I'm referring to is the Big Bang Theory, like how the universe even began. Are you familiar with that?
I have been out of school for a long time.
Okay, no, that's fine. This is like going back to the idea of how our universe began. And so they say, actually a lot of scientists say, so, you know, take this as it resonates, but there's this belief out there that our universe started with a big bang.
Well, I've known that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now the idea of a starseed and where you originate from is we had this big bang, but where was your little spark located during that big bang? Where did you go? Where was the first place that you went? That is what I like to call your starseed origin. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Because it's like if we all came off of source, we all came from this big bang. We're all a fractal of source, or you could call it a spark. We all had to have landed somewhere in our universe. So that's where I like to think about the galactic origin of somebody. It's where you were located when your soul first remembered itself. That is what your starseed lineage is. So now I know my starseed lineage, Arcturian, and you got some clues about where you actually originated from our friend Shiv.
Yes, he told me I was part of the Anunnaki, which I guess are the people, the creatures.
They're not creatures. They're alien.
I don't know what to call them. They, them, I don't know. Who helped create Earth as like a test, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know too much.
So yes, there's lots of conspiracy out there about the Anunnaki and whether or not they were the creators of human beings. I do believe that we are mixed genetically with Anunnaki because there is a history of human evolution where the Anunnaki did come and they did try to mine different resources from Earth, and they did try to make human beings more of their slave race so that we would do the mining for them, and then they ended up pairing up with the reptilians to do this. This is the version that I've heard, and so that is why people will tend to say that Anunnaki did help to create human beings in the form that we are today.
No, that makes sense. And yeah, I did hear that they do get a bad rap, that they weren't the greatest.
Well, okay, listen, do you remember the episode where we talked about past life and phobias?
Yes.
If you haven't listened to that episode, it's either episode 3 or 4. We talk about Rosanna's very, very scary needle phobia and where that actually stemmed from. Spoiler, it stemmed from when you were a soldier in a past life and you were tortured.
Yep.
Now, I remember asking our spiritual mentor, Shiv, I was like, Shiv, these people who tortured Rosanna in that past life, were they even human? And he looked at me and he was like, you could tell that he was proud of his pupil. He's like, no, they weren't human. And I was like, okay, they were alien. He's like, yeah, they were the Anunnaki. Experimenting on you, your own experimenting on you, Rosanna, which I do believe can happen because...
I mean, humans experiment on humans.
You came from the Anunnaki, and the first time that you heard this was from our spiritual mentor Shiv, who looked into your past lives and saw that's where you originated. And he had also told you that you were one of the most creative, what was it called? Not designer, but you architect?
Yeah, I think it was an architect. Very creative.
So now, would you consider yourself creative in this life?
Oh, yeah. From all the other past lives that Shiv told me about, all of my past lives have had some creativity in it. The ones that he told me about anyways. I would still consider myself creative today.
I mean, I think that you're underselling yourself. You are the most creative artist that I've ever met, because you're able to do so much. You're able to do painting, crochet, etc. And so this is actually one of the ways that you can start looking into and feeling into your starseed lineage is different traits that have carried over from your starseed lineage could be carrying over into your human life. So Anunnaki being highly creative creator beings, it is no surprise that you come from this lineage because you do display those characteristics today. It's like the Arcturians and how that's my lineage, and Arcturians are very analytical and they're very technological beings, and they are also communicators and they're healers. And even though I don't always really like technology, I am very good with it. I did manage to learn how to put this whole podcast setup together by myself. So I think that if you are looking into your starseed lineage, start looking into the different ET races, their different characteristics, see which ones are actually very similar to you in this lifetime, and that could give you a hint as to where you come from.
Yeah, and I still come to you when I need some healing.
Now, something that I want to mention about starseeds, there are a lot of people on Earth right now. I believe that most humans are starseeds. I believe that most of us are galactic souls in human bodies, and we are here volunteering to help raise the vibration of the Earth. Even though there's people here who are starseeds, galactic souls in human bodies, I do believe that a lot of these starseeds have had human lives, so they know how to function when they're here on Earth. But there are a lot of people here who have not actually had human lives. They're just pure starseeds. They don't know what it's like to be a human. These are the people that are probably a little bit more weird.
Yeah, they probably
strange.
They can't look at you in the eye when they talk, and they're just like, you kind of have a vibe.
They don't know how to human is what I like to say. So I learned about this interesting concept though for those types of starseeds where they really don't have any recollection or any real lives as a human, and it is this concept of imprinting. Have you heard of imprinting?
Are we talking about Twilight?
No, but I'm still trying to understand how imprinting works in Twilight, because how I understand it, I don't understand it in Twilight. And maybe in a second you'll get what I mean. So imprinting, I actually first learned about this concept. Yes, it was actually through Twilight. And it's not the same type of imprinting, because as we were just kind of talking off script here, in the movie Twilight, you know, the vampire one, it's like Bella imprints, or one of them imprints on each other, Bella and Jacob.
No. Jacob imprints on her daughter or something.
Oh, okay. So this is not that type of imprinting. I don't
even know how.
I don't understand that. Yeah, this is different. The imprinting that I understand from the spiritual sense and how it relates to starseeds actually comes from Dolores Cannon. Do you know who she is?
I know who she is.
Dolo.
Yeah, you showed me some of her videos and stuff.
I love her. R.I.P. She is the pioneer of quantum healing hypnosis therapy. She unfortunately passed away in 2014, but her daughter, Julia Cannon, is carrying on her legacy, as well as many QHHT students who have practiced in her footsteps. So Dolores Cannon has a lot of books out there, and I am reading the book Keepers of the Garden right now, and it talks about this concept of imprinting, where star people from the stars, those of us who are starseeds, and we come to Earth, some of us actually need to experience imprinting. It's a very complicated concept that is hard for our human minds to wrap around, so I'll try to explain it my best. Let's say you're a starseed and you're coming to Earth for the very first time. You have no idea what it's like to be a human. This is your first earthly life. Well, that would not serve you very well, because you would be born and then you would be so out of place. You would not understand society, culture, behavior, psychology, nothing. You would be so uncomfortable that you would just really want to leave. And I'm sure that there's some people who actually do feel this way out there. You know, anything is possible. But in order to eradicate this type of feeling so lost and not understanding who you are, where you are, etc., because you literally just would not fit into society, there's this concept of imprinting. And so this concept is, before you come to Earth, your soul gets imprinted on. And what that means is, through the Akashic records, which is the records of every single life, every single soul's life out there, the huge library of everybody's record. Through the Akashic records, one can actually learn about somebody else's life and imprint it into their consciousness. So that when they are on Earth as a human, let's say that they used the imprinting of another human being's life, they can reference that other human being's life so that they understand who they are in this life, so that they understand how to human. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense, because as you're explaining what it is, I'm trying to think if I know anybody that doesn't act human. But like we said, like, there are people that you can get that vibe, but it's not that they don't act human. You know,
right?
what I mean?
Like they're not outlandish. Like they're not walking on their hands.
You know, the first thing I think of in that is like Men in Black, when like that cockroach guy takes the skin of another guy and how he acts in that movie. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but I just remember like the cockroach alien thing. Like the body of someone else, and the way he was acting was not human.
He was, because he needed to be imprinted on. He needed to refer to a human life to know how to human.
Yeah, well,
that is
I
imprinting.
Mean, it was a cockroach. You could tell he didn't know how to act human when he was trying to be human.
I do remember this very, very, very vaguely, and I feel like I should watch the movie now. But yes, that's the concept of imprinting, and it's just very complicated, but I thought that it was just important to share because there are people who have had past life regressions. There's really no way to know if that past life was actually a life that their soul actually lived.
Oh.
Or if it is a lifetime that was imprinted onto them so that they have something to refer to.
Well, let's hope they pick the right book.
I know. Well, this is why there are cases of people who say and swear that they were, let's say, Cleopatra in a past life.
Yeah, okay.
It is very possible that they truly do believe this because it was imprinted on them.
Well,
multiple people can do this.
I recently watched the 1,000-Pound Sisters, and their mother swears they're related to the royal family. I don't know.
Or she just, I don't know. I don't want to call people crazy because people are not crazy. They're just very cosmic. So maybe she's just, you know, a little bit more in tune than one would think.
Maybe a past life of hers was part of the royal family.
Yes.
And then she decided to come and be born in Kentucky.
Yeah. If the soul has the ability to choose whatever they want to do and whatever they want to experience, why wouldn't you choose to be of the royalty and then maybe choose like a normal life after that?
I'm trying to think, like, if I got to pick a life after this one. I'm a huge Disney fan.
Okay, so then one thing that your soul might agree to is having the imprinted life of Walt Disney.
Yeah, because I think he's a good guy.
Can we talk about that Frozen conspiracy really quick?
Yeah.
Okay, tell him.
So the Frozen conspiracy, which I just learned about recently, is the reason why they made the movie Frozen is because when you Google Disney Frozen, the movie pops up. Prior to the movie, if you Googled Disney Frozen, there was conspiracy that his head is frozen.
It probably is.
Yeah.
We love talking about the strange, esoteric, and conspiracy on this podcast. But going back to the whole idea of past lives, imprinting, and star seeds, I do definitely believe that there are people out there who are experiencing memories from imprinted lives. I think earlier in the episode, I said how it's impossible to tell the difference, but I want to take that back and say that I don't think it's impossible to tell the difference between a truly lived past life and an imprinted past life. I think that your higher self, I know that your higher self knows the difference.
I have a question. So being that I know that I've had past lives and stuff like that, I know that when this life is over and if I want to continue my soul to the next life, can my soul imprint, being that I already have lived multiple lives, have played human? Can I still do that?
Do you mean like, can somebody take from your life right now?
No, can my soul take from another life when I go into this library? Yes. Okay, so I can still imprint from another soul.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because let's say that like the next life that you want is going to be on a completely different planet with completely different traditions, cultures.
Okay, yeah.
And you're like, well, I want to prepare for this. So then you're going to take a book from the Akashic Records. You're going to read through it, essentially. This is more of like an analogy. And you're going to use that information and imprint on yourself that lifetime so that you are prepared for the lifetime that you want to experience.
Okay, so even though I lived a lifetime here on Earth and I want to go to said water planet,
yes,
I can.
Yes. Now, something interesting about imprinted lives is you won't carry over that karma from the imprinted life. You're only going to remember the soul's lessons. We don't only have imprinted lives. Like the soul still needs to live and experience and to learn. And the only way to truly do that is through truly lived experience. Yes, you can use imprinting as an aid. That's what it is. It's there to aid you. However, I don't even know if it's technically allowed to only live imprinted lives because your soul's evolution would just stop.
I feel like you'd be so numb.
Yeah, you wouldn't truly be living. You wouldn't truly be like learning from the experiences. You'd only be remembering lives that aren't even your own. And there's the issue of not being able to work off negative karma and to bring on positive karma.
Like, yeah, I just feel like you'd be so numb, emotionless. Like,
Yeah, but it is there for an aid. And so if you resonate with this episode and you think that you're a starseed and you start having different past life regressions and you're like, oh my gosh, like I was this person from a past life and it's better prepared me for this lifetime, it's all very possible. And it's also very possible that those lifetimes were actually imprinted on you. So to find out whether or not that was the case, it really is a conversation with your higher self. To wrap up this episode, I did promise you guys that I'd give you some more tips to figure out your starseed lineage. I know we went on a little bit of a diatribe there about imprinting, but I think that is just so fascinating. And finally, I was able to share it because for me, in order to understand a concept, I have to like word vomit it. You know?
Yeah.
I have to like regurgitate it and try to understand it myself by explaining it to other people. So hopefully it made sense. So as a bonus, if you're looking for your starseed lineage, is it important to understand the energy of resonance? Meaning, if you're listening to this podcast, if you resonate with the word starseed, you are most likely a starseed. But it's also important to research different ET races yourself, see what stands out. Literally, you could be flipping through a book, looking at illustrations of aliens, and if something really stands out to you, that could be a sign that you're of that lineage or that lineage is around you. So pay attention to what resonates and pay attention to how your body feels when you're doing this work as well, because your body will give you physical clues. I don't know about you, but I get chills a lot when I'm supposed to be paying attention to something or when spirit wants me to know that I'm right about something. Do you have any sort of physical thing?
I feel like sometimes I get goosebumps, but
that's a good one.
I feel like you get them all the time. You're always like, ooh, and I got a chill when I said that.
It's because I've practiced. So, I mean, I've been reading tarot for a while, and so it happens a lot when I'm reading tarot, and the more you acknowledge it, the more it'll happen as well. Yes. And I just got the chills when I said that. So for you, anytime that you get the goosebumps, whether you're reading about your starseed lineage or just anything, you should pay attention to it, call it out, and your higher self will do it to you more. Because if you're getting goosebumps and your higher self is sending it to you as a sign like, hey, pay attention to bitch, and you're not paying attention, they're going to stop.
Yeah, I have to talk to them better. I'm not very good at that.
To talk to my higher self, don't we all? So I would recommend the book Encyclopedia Galactica by Elena Danon if you do want to start your starseed lineage journey of just like looking and seeing what starseed lineage resonates with you. Start by flipping through books, learning about extraterrestrials, see what resonates, and start there. And if you want to bypass this entire journey of self-discovery, I do offer galactic origin readings with my Mystic Martian Oracle deck that could also give you a few pieces of the puzzle of what your starseed lineage is. So check that out. I will leave a link in the show notes. Any final thoughts, Rosanna, here about starseeds, about imprinting, or just your own reflections about being from the Anunnaki race?
I feel like I have to do more research.
And that's so important when you think about things that you've heard. It's important to do your own research because then you're better able to tell if you are able to like resonate with it, you know? So thank you so much for being on this podcast episode.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And if you need any help figuring out your starseed lineage, again, reach out to me at Coming Out Cosmic on all major platforms. I love to hear your stories and your insights, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.